I'm wondering, do you have any short term and any long term goals for the YouTube channel? And I'm not talking about anything like grand, not even necessarily like metrics or anything like that, but just like personal goals that you'd like to accomplish through your channel.
Well, a personal shaving goal this year is I'm trying to get to 100 open blade shaves. So it doesn't have to be straight razor, doesn't have to be WEC, but I'm including, anything that's open blade in that number. And it's related to the YouTube channel because I feel like the channel sort of keeps me honest. And if I'm not feeling comfortable enough with a razor or something, I usually won't make a video with it. Like I'll wait until I get better with it to do that. And so with regard to these open blade things that I'm using, like it's really a challenge and to use those razors in some cases. And I feel like the channel helps keep me honest in that sense. So it's to be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm doing with my channel these days, but I'm just trying to be like more personable and more inviting to my viewers than I maybe have in the past. Like in the past, it was very like clinical. Like it was very much like, this is what I'm using. I've used it all week. These are my like very detailed thoughts. And like, that was it. And so these days I'm like, man, I've done that for years. So how can I make this a benefit for myself? In the case of like these open blade things, makes me do it on camera, which is more difficult than just doing it on my own. And then also, how can I engage with people in some other way? So I'm trying to be more just open-ended in like what I talk about in the videos, like. Because like previously, I don't know. Previously, I was like self-conscious about being like, okay, here's the second pass with the razor, and then, wow, how about that weather this week? Wasn't it great? Like, like that like always felt weird to me to do, even though there are many people that do that successfully within our community. It always felt weird to me, and I just felt like I needed to kind of like grow into that. And then now there's almost always a weather update. And if there's one thing Chicago people like doing, it's talking about the weather. So
this is true.
I like try to talk about the weather. If I'm like traveling, I'll mention that, or if I had an interesting gig or something, I'll mention that. So, like I said, just trying to be more personable on the channel this year, and then also that open blade challenge, which is sort of tied in with the videos too. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. I think those are great goals. Like, especially the kind of goals that are like making us improved in our craft. And I will just mention too that I think very consciously had the same thing. Was thinking over the same thing, like how much of our personal lives, and this is for like content creators out there, how much of yourself do you put out there? And I think, like you, when I first started, it's clinical is a great word, and I do agree. Like it's like very you're narrating us through the shave, but but no more. Like that's where it stops, right? Except like weather, but it's like we're not talking about like, oh, like it was a rough day, or today was awesome because this or that, or I ate this awesome, I don't hot dog.
I'm cracking up as you say this, because when I think about my time starting on YouTube, and then also when I was, when I met you, or however you want to say it, the elephant in the room, but in like a good way, was Ruds, right?
Sure, yeah.
And like you and Ruds were buddies, and you all know each other, in real life, right? Like you've met many times, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we've bet. Yep.
And so I'm like cracking up because we're talking about like clinical shaving videos, and like that. But like that was his thing, and so he was always sort of the thing in the back of my mind is like, am I as clinical as Ruds right now? No. Okay, like that's probably good. But
yeah, right. It's like Ruds shaves. It's a channel because he's also someone else. We keep talking about folks that have are not currently making content, but
I moved on.
Their videos yeah. I mean, right, he's not making videos anymore, but you
Uh,
can see his old videos. And we're talking about like being concise earlier. Yes, he's
mm,
very concise, like straight to the point. And honestly, that was always inspiration. And
mhm,
he helped me out a lot, plugging my channel on his. And
that's right.
I still appreciate him and his friendship, and his help back then. But it's like similar goals, right? Like you don't want to like drone on because I don't want to do a vlog because I
Hmm.
think that's the other kind of style to do. I feel like you're trying to avoid that as well, where
Yeah.
it's like I'm using this today, but then the rest of the video is your car problems and mowing the lawn. I don't know. This is not meant to demean
No.
anyone
No.
who's
No.
talking
No.
about this. It's just a
Yeah.
different content.
See, and that's the thing is that nowadays, now that I've sort of figured out like how to shave, I
Yeah.
actually really enjoy those vlog type shaving videos. I'm just not ready to make the jump yet myself because there is still this like analytical
Barrier.
side of me of
Oh,
where like if it's a shaving video, then make it about shaving. If you want to do a separate video where you talk about your new car, like that's fine. But I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like it should still be predominantly shaving for my stuff. Again, I enjoy other people. And it's funny, you
Yes.
mentioned the connection between you and Ruds about the concise nature of making videos. And, I would have never made that connection had you not say it. But it is sort of your thing is sort of similar to the way that he was very concise and putting those like segues in between each point, right? Like he would like give
Yeah,
the
yeah,
intro, then cut, shave, then cut, and give his like final thoughts, right?
yeah, yeah.
And so, again, dare I say that this is artistic, but it's funny how you can not realize the connection between two people because they present it in such a different way, but actually, it's a very like literal like connection. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like for me,
There's a through line
uh huh,
in ours,
uh huh.
right? Yeah.
And it's like for me, especially in the beginning, I was absolutely copying Michael's style. I would use the soap for
Mm,
1 week, not use anything else. Would wait
right.
till Sunday to do. I was absolutely copying him, and so a lot of people realized that. But then some people didn't, and they were like, "Wait, is this supposed to be like Michael?" I'm like, "Yes, absolutely, absolutely, it is." So anyway, it's that like connection thing again. Dare I say in the arts is kind of the interesting
Yes,
thing.
the YouTube arts of
The
of the
YouTube shaving arts. Jeez, jeez, man.
well, but I mean everything's connected, and then like music can be you can kind of weave it in anywhere, right? And
Hmm.
same thing, right? Like uh, as far as new compositions, there really isn't anything new under the sun. It's like
No,
everyone's inspired by someone else, and
that's
you
right.
do your own riff on it. And I
Hmm.
would say, yeah, I mean like again, like there might be people who are like, I am not concise at all, and that's fine. I know I ramble also.
Mm,
I ramble a whole lot, but like I try to be concise,
sure.
and Ruds for sure was one of the very few people doing that.
Hmm.
Was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
So and Michael did a great job. I mean, I think that if you're gonna copy someone or at least be inspired by, right? What better way, because you're going to use that either you're doing a razor, you're doing software, or the whole setup you're using 1 week. That's a
hmm,
very informed video.
that's right.
And if you're not going to veer off and talk about your car, your new dog, whatever, then you might as well do a deep dive into the thing you were going to talk about, which I totally respect.
That's right. Yeah, and I really valued in the beginning that idea of using the same thing for a week to just really be as what's the word, as like informed as possible when you
Yeah,
do your video like 1 week later. I don't
yeah,
I don't do that now. I'm too like scatterbrained to do it now. But I used to. I used to be very disciplined.
yeah,
Use the
yeah.
same thing the whole week. So anyway, yeah. Reds. Go watch some of his videos if you haven't, and Michael too. But Reds is that's so funny, man. Reds.